Hello, hello, hello. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's everyone doing? Welcome to another episode of TraderPrad. And we're going to be looking at all things stock market like we always do. Hopefully, everyone had a wonderful, wonderful day on the markets today. Green on the markets. Yeah, the markets took off. I think the 10 o'clock number really helped the markets today. And the markets ended up, having a nice little green day for themselves. They were looking like they wanted to sell off first. The markets were pushing down off the open, and then later on there were some great long opportunities. Some stocks gave you a day two, day three longs, such as Roku. Shopify didn't really do too much if I remember, but Wayfair gave you a monster move to the north side. ARM, someone in the chat yesterday talked about ARM, so that made me look at ARM. Actually, let me quickly put ARM on the watch list over here. Kind of forgot about putting that one on the watch list. Insert one row below an ARM, because that one also gave me a beautiful long later on in the day today. So a lot of fun moves to the long side, to the upside on the stock market, and we were able to end up scraping a nice little green day for ourselves. My worst stock on the day was a firm, but that's just because like I traded a little poorly, and I got told that that stock probably won't be going anywhere on the day. So I figured, okay, I'll probably not just trade. I'll not trade it anymore. I'll just leave it as a red ticker. But if I did trade a firm later on in the day, my God, what a move a firm had as a day two upside move, especially off the whole Black Friday catalyst that Shopify and Amazon took off of. So a lot of stocks to go through. As always, we have a big watch list. Everything from earnings, from catalysts to anything that moved around that probably needs our attention for a possible day two, day three type of play. So we have all those stocks on the board over here. I once again forgot to take screenshots of my own trades, so we won't be able to show you my trades today. But if at any time we do go to a stock that I did trade on the day, such as Pinduoduo, another stock that I am forgetting to add on the watch list over here. So let me quickly see where I want to put Pinduoduo on the watch list. We'll put it right above Roku. Pinduoduo, which was my number one profitable stock on the day today. So nice little trades on Pinduoduo to the long side. We traded it quite a bunch of times on the long side today. We also had some longs on, I believe. Trying to remember what other stocks I traded. I actually can't remember it right now, to be honest. Not sure. This is why you take screenshots. I forgot to take screenshots 2 days in a row now, so no track of at all what I traded, sadly. But if I start talking about any of the positions that we traded on our watch list on the day, I'll be sure to show you exactly, or at least talk about how I traded. I see TH is in the chat. What's up, TH? How you doing? Hopefully you had a great, nice little green day. Market's obviously shaping right back up to the upside. Looks like they want to start moving a little bit, right, going into this rebalance that's happening at the end of the month. So we'll be getting ready for all that fun action. See what stocks are getting added to the S&P 400, 600, 500 indexes, and see what stocks are being removed from those indexes, and kind of see if we can get a trade on them intraday. For example, a stock that was announced that is being added to the S&P 600 index. I saw this on the what's that? CNBC early morning watch list that they send out every single morning. They send out a watch list. So in the CNBC watch list, they talk about CG, the ticker CG, which is getting added to the S&P 600, sorry, not 500. So was looking for some possible longs on that stock today. Did give you an area to get long into later on in the day if you were interested, but maybe that stock picks up into some action for the north side tomorrow, and some other stocks that were also announced on that basket. But I only saw CG on that list, so we'll see how CG can help us out. So let's show you guys the watch list that we have on board today. Probably another, an hour stream today and probably less than an hour like yesterday, because now we only get to talk about our watch list, nothing else besides that. I can't, sadly can't show you my trades. So we'll just dive right into all the fun and all the charting that we like to prepare for on the market tomorrow. By the way, Charlie Munger, whose passing was announced during Trader TV live at the close. Yeah, I saw the notifications on my phone. Charlie Munger, obviously an absolute legend, partners with Warren Buffett, the vice chairman for Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway for such a long time. Also was part of like Costco and whatnot. So obviously a great figure in the trading world, passing away at the age of what, 90 something. So rest in peace. Hopefully condolences to all of his family and everyone affected by that. But yeah, that's such is life, man. Such is life. It comes to an end, and that is how it is. Sometime, one day my end will come. Maybe tomorrow. We'll just never know. We'll just never know. Anyways, get back to the market over here. Rest in peace to Charlie Munger, obviously, and condolences to his family. Without Munger, I want to see how Buffett can. I guess Buffett doesn't really do that much work anymore, right? He's old too. But I don't think Buffett does that much work. There's probably interns and other analysts and so on that do all the work these days. But I'd like to see how Buffett will be doing these days without Munger. The stocks that are on the board today, ladies and gentlemen. First off, CrowdStrike announcing earnings after hours today. Let's quickly show you all the stocks that are going to be on the earnings board for tonight and tomorrow pre-market. We got CrowdStrike, Workday, Splunk, which is actually getting bought out, HPE, NetApp, if you're interested in that, and a bunch of other random stocks that I'm not too interested in. Foot Locker recently had some sort of a downgrade. I think it was yesterday. Foot Locker had a downgrade yesterday, and didn't really trade to the downside at all. It popped up and just kept ripping up to the north side even after the downgrade. So I'll be interested to see how the stock trades in pre-market off the earnings catalyst. Maybe the downgrade that comes from, if I remember correctly, Scotiabank or from BMO. We'll see if they are correct about that call out on Foot Locker, and Foot Locker probably plummets to the downside on the earnings report, or does the earnings report come out good and Foot Locker starts launching back up? The next stock, obviously, Dollar Tree and Farfetch. These are the only three stocks over here that I'm interested. I guess you could be interested in Wolf, Petco. Billy is another Asian stock, kind of like Pinduoduo if you're interested in that. And then tomorrow after hours, the big names are CRM, Snowflake, and Okta for those of you who like trading earnings plays after hours. So the big names tomorrow are right here. But right now we're only interested in this two columns, the after the close and before the open. And from that basket of stocks, the first one on board is CRWD. CrowdStrike. So let's go see how CrowdStrike is looking like at the moment. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to go to 1 year chart. Ooh, a beautiful move to the north side since the start of the year. Can we go year to date? Yeah, year to date. From the starting of the year till now, I mean, we started off at what, $92 over here on CrowdStrike. Now we're at $200. So insane move overall. Year to date, we don't really see a year to date percentage, but maybe if we go over here. Year to date, we are up 105% on year to date on this position, so monster move overall. Now the question is, does this earnings report help it go higher or does it go lower? Let's find out. If the report is positive, it is. Okay, so EPS was a nice 10% beat, revenue with a 1.12% beat. We don't know what the guidance is yet on CrowdStrike, so let's go quickly see what the guidance looks like. And for that, we bring in our good friend Benzinga. Shout out to Money Mitch from Benzinga. Strong guidance and more. So looks like strong guidance, obviously beat on the EPS and on revenue. So I'm expecting the stock to most likely pump up into maybe 240s, somewhere around these areas. Let's go see if that stock is. Nope, it did not do that at all. It actually tried to push up into today's high, rejected today's high, and then flushed to the downside. Later on, came back right up to the north side, found support around 205, and then bounced right off of 205 again. But the question is, if the report's good, why did we move like this on this stock? So a little bit of a negative move to the downside on the position. If you see what happened to not Pinduoduo, but Zoom, I think it was, no, not Zoom, Zscaler, we were kind of accurate on what we thought about Zscaler on the earnings report flushed to the downside. We were looking for some possible long opportunities. We read the report live on the stream for you guys yesterday. We said everything off that report looks pretty good to me. Guidance is up, everything is up. So why is Zscaler getting smacked to the downside over here? And looks like we were right on the call out. Zscaler does manage to reverse that whole move and pretty much trade in yesterday's higher ranges. So pretty good reversal back over here, and I'm expecting something similar to show up on CrowdStrike. And I think Zscaler and CrowdStrike, both of them pretty much do the exact same thing. One of them is more into cloud computing and security, and I think the other one does the exact same thing too, if I remember correctly. So over here, CrowdStrike, starting off to the downside a little bit, making a nice little bounce back into today's opening range, and finding some support in today's opening range is pretty bullish to me. I think we're going to be looking to see any opportunities to buy the dips into 207, 205 tomorrow on CrowdStrike if we do open there. I, however, don't think we open down here. I'm getting ready to see CrowdStrike trade somewhere higher into these today's ranges, somewhere into 213, 215 in pre-market itself. And then you're looking for that breakout of 215 maybe for a bigger move up. If we actually zoom back out over here real quick, you can see how that 215 is that recent 52-week high. So once we break that 215, it kind of opens up a lot of room to the north side. Blue skies, as they say. So reaching into our crystal ball over here, looking for that 215 break to take us into 230, 240. Not saying that happens in one day, not an intraday move, but we could see a nice little swing move happening to the north side on this position over time, allowing us to get long every single day and ride it up to 220, 230, 240, and see what happens in the higher end of those ranges. So real quick, putting in some supports or putting in some levels in our notes over here. Let's start off with the higher time frame. On the higher time frame, you can see how we have found bottoms 1, 2, 3 days in a row around this 207.50. So that level is pretty important for a support. 207.50, pretty much 3 days low. You can even bring it down to 207, I guess. Let's actually zoom out a little bit. What is this day's low exactly? Yeah, 207.23 up to 207. That's 206. Anyways, you guys get the idea. And for the resistance, I'm only interested to see what happens at 215. I'm not too interested to see what happens in the middle of these ranges. We could easily just chop around in these ranges over here. The most interesting trade will be for me around 215. Show me some nice patterns to get into a breakout at 215, or some dip buys into 206, 207 will be a good opportunity to see if longs can show up on this position. Resistance, we got 215. And everything in the middle is just kind of inflection for me, like kind of 210 over here. I don't really want to trade off of 210. I want to see how the stock behaves. Do we find the bottom at 210? Are we finding buyers above 207, above 206? Does 210 start shaping up to still show some longs now? And then once we start making a rally towards 215, maybe I can get a better price on 210 instead of trying to take that 215 breakout, right? Get a better price at 210 only if the patterns are affirming our the move to the long side. You're seeing a higher low, higher high. You're seeing some sort of bull flag, or whatever flags that people like to see. Some sort of a long pattern to kind of indicate that, hey, buyers are here. Maybe the stock reclaims yesterday's VWAP or today's VWAP and shows you some sort of a sympathy catalyst that it had off of Zscaler taking that sympathy off of Zscaler and its own catalyst from today, allowing it to get another boost of relative volume to the north side. So a lot of reasons over here to take a look at CrowdStrike. Obviously, the number one reason, it has a catalyst, earnings catalyst. So take a look at CrowdStrike and have it on your watch list. Workday. I thought Workday, for some reason, was that company that went defunct. Not defunct, but what's that word I'm looking for? Bankrupt. But I think the company I'm thinking, it's not Workday, it's WeWork, right? Yeah, WeWork. This one pretty much went bankrupt, didn't it? It's an OTC now. Yeah, okay. Okay, so for some reason I thought Workday was WeWork. What does Workday do? Workday is a technology services, information technology services, pretty decently high price stock, and the volume is kind of for a $200 stock, 2 million shares, 3 million shares is actually not bad, but you would like to see a lot more because that means the spread is kind of tight, but the stock is obviously maybe a boomer stock over here. Let's zoom out. Ooh, not a boomer stock. It's actually a 2013 stock, IPO'd in 2013 at the price of $40, $44 ish or so, and now currently in a beautiful price of 230. Let's go find out a little bit more about this stock. WD. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to click that. Workday, what is your PE? That's, you don't have a PE, so you haven't made any money yet. So, but your forward PE is 36.15, which is not bad. There's other companies with way worse forward PE and current PEs also, so that's actually not bad at all. Do you have a high short float is my next question. Short interest is only a 1.58%. That's also not bad at all. What's the institutional ownership? 71%. So a lot of institutions like hedge funds own this company. So that's actually good to see, because they like what this company does. Whatever they do, they like what this company does, and a lot of institutions like to hold on to this company at the moment. Workday engages in development of enterprises cloud applications for finance and human resources. It develops financial management, human capital management, and analytics applications designed for companies, educational institutions, and government agencies. The company was founded by David A. whatever, who cares, March in Pleasanton, California. Is that CA, California? Please tell me that's California. Pleasanton, California. Okay, so Workday, technology company, HR, financial, some sort of way to help companies overall. Getting a nice little boost up on earnings report, question mark, or a pump down is the question over here. Looks like the earnings report is positive, 8% up on EPS, 1% up on revenue. Very similar to CrowdStrike over there on terms of numbers. Is the move also similar to CrowdStrike is the question now. So let's go check that out. Oh, no, it's not. This one actually pumped up to the north side. So shout out to this stock, because this one looks like it wants to continue going up. And you saw how we just put in that line at 252. That is the 52-week high. The 252, 253 is actually the 52-week high. And the stock pumped right into that level. And the high of this whole move in the after hour was exactly 255, as you can see right there. That high right there is 255 to the dot, and we closed around 254.40 in the after hours. So monster move over here. A little bit of a test for some buyers came in right around 247, and whoever started the buying rally bought more probably around these areas, which brought another little bump up to the north side all the way up to 255. Also guessing the spread itself was probably nasty on this position. The volume wasn't too much of a volume traded in the after hours either, so I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback in the pre-market. We probably open somewhere around 250, and then we get to see if there is a trade again near the previous 52-week high, which is 252, 253 areas, and then maybe a bigger move up to the north side. Also zoom out, see where the all-time high is. Ooh, that 252, 253 area is actually pretty solid. You can see how previously we kind of had triple tops and then a double top over here right around these areas. So if for any reason the stock ends up finding support, I think the stock has to go find support at 250, honestly. Like, I think it has to go find support at 250 in pre-market and then just take off. We rejected 250 here. We got above 250, but then we got right back under 250. We got above, but got back right under. This is the all-time high on this position. Maybe not tomorrow, but eventually we go test that price point on workday. But here are some other levels to the north side that might be interesting. Right now, however, we are looking to see how the stock trades into 255, which was the high in the after hours off the earnings catalyst. I'm just trying to put some more lines down over here into 255, and I think 260, just $5, $10 ranges on a $200 stock. Let's also quickly see what the what is it? Not this page. The ATR is on the stock. ATR is $4.85. Let's say the stock basically moves in $5 ranges every single day, and anytime it does have earnings, I'm guessing it kind of goes in $10 ranges. So if that's the case, we might just see 260 being a little bit of a wall on this position, or 255 being a wall first. We pull back into 250, we find supports at 250, and then we go back up north. I am very, very interested to see how the stock trades at this 250 area. As for resistance, we got 255, and then we got 260 to the north side. As for inflection, I think honestly 250 is inflection. You want to see what happens over here, but that's also support for me. The next support is right around 245. Okay. Okay, so that's a work day. We're kind of ready for a work day for tomorrow, and we'll see if it ends up offering us some good trading opportunities. Next stock on board. I don't want to look at the earnings move already, but I guess we saw it. Let's go look at the earnings catalyst real quick. Down 0.17% on revenue. Not too much of a miss there. Up very slightly also, up 3% on EPS, so not too much of a move. This stock looks like a nothing burger at the moment off the earnings catalyst. Quickly just going to put down the didn't mean to do that. Quickly just going to put down the anchored VWAP for earnings for myself, just in case the stock gets active. The fact that it did nothing, it's going to probably be stuck in these ranges, be pretty boring. The fact that, however, it is in the lower end of these ranges, if that earnings report is bought up by the stonk market, maybe there is a long around 15.50, or even back into $15, where you can look for the stock to rally back up north. But I wouldn't be too excited to honestly trade the stock tomorrow. I think there'll be way better stocks with much more volume and a little bit more volatility than this position. But for those of you who don't like volatility and just want to catch a nice little easy money winner, this could be one of it. I think a dip buy into 15 area, or if 1550 holds, you can look to probably get long off of this position over here. Granted, the stock is trying to go higher, not go lower. At that point, you can get long. If it's trying to go lower, stay away from the longs. It's as simple as that. Not too excited to see what that stock does, honestly. Ole. Okay, now that we got our coffee out, now we can hit the vape. Foot Locker coming up on board next. So this is what I was talking about. Foot Locker 2 days ago had that downgrade, but monster rally to the north side. Just pretty much moved right back into yesterday's high and traded around yesterday's high, rejected yesterday's high, and then caught back to the downside a little bit where you could pulled off a short. Today continued on that rally, basically a day 2 rally coming in on Foot Locker going into the earnings day, and tomorrow pre-market we have the earnings move coming up. So a little bit of a question mark as to see what happens. Did it already close the gap? I guess you could say it closed the gap. The question is, does Foot Locker have enough juice now off the earnings report to get back into the previous ranges of $25, $26, or does this previous support, which turned into a resistance or might turn into resistance, stuff the stock back down on a negative earnings report, at which point we have other levels to the downside to be interested in, all of which will only be found out tomorrow in the pre-market. So we'll have to be a little patient for the next few stocks, which is Foot Locker, Dollar Tree, and Farfetch. You could even add Woof to that stock or basket of stocks. Let's quickly go see what price Woof is. If I remember correctly, it's like a it's like a $2, $3 stock. I'm not too interested in this one, so I'm not gonna add it to my list. But Foot Locker, Dollar Tree, Dollar Tree, and FTCH. Also, one of the lower price stocks that I'm not too interested in, but all of which will be on the watch tomorrow based on how they move in pre-market off the earnings report. Next stock on board over here we got is Pinduoduo. So let's show you how we traded Pinduoduo to the best of my memory today. If I remember accurately, I took this breakout. First, I took the 138 breakout, the pre-market high breakout, got out at 139, somewhere over here. On the dip back down, got some long over here, got long over here, got stopped out. Then on the move back up, got back in, held it for up to here, got out, and then later on in the day, I think I tried a long, but I closed it pretty quickly. Oh, I did. Now I remember. Oh, it was right here. So I took that long, got out. Later on in the day, I took a long right here on the break of 139 because 139 had a iceberg seller. You could only see 100 shares on the offer. But the amount of shares that were being printed into 139 was almost infinite. It was just non-stop printing 139 green, 139 green, 139 green, but it would not break 139. It would go down to 138.97, 138.99, 138.94, and every time it would do that, it would show me 139 again and start printing 139, 139, 139, but it would not break it. So I figured, hey, if 139 does manage to break, if this infinite hidden seller manages to evaporate, there's going to be a liquidity gap over here, liquidity pool, liquidity grab, whatever it's called. There's going to be a nice little pocket that's going to open up where the stock jumps up, and then it could either give me a nice $1 per share, 50 cents per share win, or whatever it is. So got into that trade instantly. As soon as that level breaks, the stock pops into 139.50 and then starts struggling at 139.50, but doesn't really go too much under 139.50. That gives me a little bit of a confidence to quickly take some profit and hold the rest of my size, which ends up pushing into 140, and then I take all my profits at 140, getting ready to take that 140 break because 140 was exactly the day's high. You can see right here 139.93 was the day's high. The stock never managed to get above 140, so I figured if there was a trade over here for a bigger move up north, maybe 140 long could give me another breakout long. So I waited for it. That trade never ended up happening, so just stayed away from it. Pinduoduo, not my number one trade on the day today. Now the question is, obviously, how does this stock... Oh yeah, I forgot to add it to my watch list. Pinduoduo. Let's move it up a little bit. Come on, move up. I want you up, up, up. I want you right there. Okay, so how does Pinduoduo help us on the trade setups tomorrow is the question now. How can we find some possible secondary day long, secondary day pullback shorts, green to red moves, red to green moves? So all kinds of possible options over there that we have to get ready for. So let's pull back on Pinduoduo first. Obviously, Pinduoduo going up to these price points puts it at a new 52-week high. The previous 52-week high was right here at $120. We also mapped out these two levels yesterday after hours on stream, looking to see how the stock would behave into these prices. Looks like the stock has a little bit more room into that 144, 145 area, and we've seen how the stock has traded today into this 130, 140 area. So looking for a nice little pullback into, maybe 137, 137.50. Hold that 137, 137.50 area, and then show me a 140 breakout for a possible bigger move up north on this position. So for Pinduoduo, let's quickly zoom in again on the chart, kind of study today's movement, on the 5 minute chart, and understand where exactly buyers and sellers were possibly trading off of. And for that, we also turn on our good friend volume profile. Volume profile will show us exactly where most of the volume was traded on the day today. So most of the volume on the day today traded right around into the high of day. That's crazy at 139.43. So right around at the high of day, most of the volume traded. The second most traded volume node obviously is where the VWAP is, which is 138.35 ish or so. If you include the pre-market VWAP, is at 137.50, which is what I'm expecting kind of holds up. You see how the stock dipped into 136, held 136, but then the second hold up was exactly near 137, 137.50. So I'm expecting we test that area one more time tomorrow. So 137.50. Jesus Christ. 137 to 137.50. The next level, the stock could find some bouncing. No, I'm not too keen on this, but I'm interested to see how the stock trades into 140, and then after 140 we got 144/145 as the next resistance point. Yeah, as for inflection, I think that midpoint right here where the stock did most of the volume, right near 139, 138.50, is your inflection point. You don't really want to be making decisions at those price points. You want to wait at the lower end or the higher end. And for Pinduoduo, I'm pretty excited to see what happens above 140. I think we have a lot of good room above 140, but above 145, I think there's a lot of struggle that could open up on this position also. Pinduoduo, looking for a day 2 trade on this bad boy. Talking about day 2 trades, does Roku, which gave us a day 2 trade today, but we fucked it up. So what did we do today? Roku pumped up off the open, pushed back down, and right into today's lows, right in these areas. I tried a long and I got stopped out. My manager also said just because Roku popped up off the open doesn't mean that it has to pop up again. So just because he said that, I said, okay, I'll close the trade. I closed my trade, and Roku managed to go all the way to the north side. And I just got to sit there and cry about how we probably were on a bad price, or maybe we were a little bit too early. We were on the wrong side of the V, sure, but we missed out on a nice move to the north side over here on Roku, right into yesterday's support areas. Yesterday's VWAP also, as you can see, kind of coming in held in pre-market lows, also held up on this position, gave you a beautiful long, reclaimed today's VWAP and took off to the north side. So now I'm interested to see if there's kind of a day 3 play. If this was day 1, technically this is not day 1, right? But if this was day 1, if this was day 2, then I'm interested to see how a day 3 play plays out. If we can get a nice little pullback, show some supports off of today's VWAP, or show some support off of yesterday's VWAP, and see if Roku has a bigger move to the north side. Roku did get a nice analyst upgrade. It did make all of this move off the earnings catalyst not too long ago, but this move is kind of separate from this move at this moment, because this one is new buyers stepping in after already pushing into the 52-week high on the stock. So I think tomorrow we see kind of a day 3 play pushing into that 111 area, and then maybe a rejection of 111, and then we start seeing the stock kind of trade sideways a little bit. So far, the Roku insane moves to the north side. Let's go quickly put some levels of interest for ourselves over here to see where we could possibly find some dip buys on Roku. I'm interested to see how the 103 area holds up on a possible dip buy, and then we also have this 105 area, but it's more like 104.70 to 105, honestly. Well, yeah, right there you can see how we kind of struggled over there, and this previous struggle turned into support on that stock. So very interested to see how this 104, 105 area trades on the way down on this position. And on the upside, we got today's high, which is what, 107? Today's high is 107. We got 111 up on top. Above that, I'm going to put 105 here. Yeah, I'm going to put 105 as my inflection point, but you could also find some support above 105. Okay. Shopify didn't really do too much today. I was expecting a day two trade. It did absolute zilch. But that's because Shopify had a little bit of a downgrade. I think Bank of Montreal or some bank out there came out and said, yeah, Shopify, Amazon, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, woohoo. But we don't think Shopify is actually all that great or did anything that good. And they cut it to underweight from neutral or something along those words. So Shopify was looking for a day two trade, didn't really do too much, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. However, the stock did manage to find support once again at that 71.50 area, which was the area that we went long yesterday off this right in the lows. However, we traded that stock pretty poorly. We got out before VWAP because the stock was trading under VWAP for the first 5 minutes. So I thought maybe Shopify didn't really have a bigger move up to the north side, so we traded that poorly. But today, I love to see how Shopify held that 71.50 area again. So tomorrow, if for any reason we do pull back into 71.50, I want to see Shopify holding that price again and being able to find buyers into that 71.50 price point, giving us a nice little long opportunity and a nice run back into today's ranges, yesterday's ranges, and then see how the stock trades into 74.50, into $75. What happens into the first into this day's high? It's not the first day again, but kind of like what Roku did after already making the earnings move. Shopify over here this day would be could be viewed as a day one because the catalyst for this gap up was also a completely new catalyst. It wasn't an earnings catalyst, right? It was the Black Friday catalyst, the Cyber Monday catalyst. So you can call this a day one, this kind of day two. But since the day two play was really nullified with a new catalyst of its own, it's kind of hard to expect a day three trade for according to the anchored VWAP playbook. But so because of that, we might have to modify the playbook a little bit, look for a different setup, look for a simple holding the supports on a horizontal level, holding the resistance at a horizontal level, or previous horizontal supports turning into horizontal resistances and previous horizontal resistances turning into new horizontal supports. So getting above 74.50, getting above 75 and holding above these areas will be interesting for a nice little long side action on Shopify. Affirm with this one is very, very upsetting. So right around over here, I was getting long and I had to take out flat exits because my manager said the stock doesn't actually look that good for the long side. We rejected yesterday's high. He's not wrong by saying that, right? We gapped up in the pre-market. We pushed down a little bit into the pre-market. We popped up into the open. We tried to hold 30. We launched off the north side from holding the 30 area right into yesterday's high, and then an instant swipe down after testing yesterday's high to the south side on Affirm, taking us right into yesterday's VWAP. So after that swipe down, holding that yesterday's VWAP, I had already taken a loss off that $30 area. So taking the loss by going long 30, giving it 50 cents of risk, which was the pre-market low, gave it 50 cents of risk, got stopped out. And then I started trying for another long. My manager said, Prad, that's not a long at all. Affirm rejected yesterday's high. So I said, okay, fine, no long, I'll close it. Later on, when the stock actually popped up above today's VWAP, I was looking for that long again. So I asked my manager, hey, would you think about the long over here? And he said, no, he doesn't think that Affirm is a long. It might just trade sideways. So I respected his opinion, stayed away from the stock. Looks like, made the wrong decision over there because what a monster move on Affirm. I'm not blaming my manager when I say this. I'm just saying that, hey, we missed out on a nice little move over here. But how can we capture this next time. This one actually played out pretty good according to playbook. We held yesterday's VWAP. We got above today's VWAP. We held today's VWAP. We got above yesterday's high. So even if we wanted to get long, just because it didn't look good here or it didn't look good here, it looks good here. You could have gotten long here. You could have taken the breakout here. You could have gotten long on the pullback. You could have gotten long on the pullback. There was multiple opportunities to get back long. So there's no reason for me to actually, be upset for missing out on the trade. If anything, I should be upset at myself for being upset for not being able to recognize these trades and, kind of letting my emotions get in my way today and being... I was very emotional on the market today. I was up, I was flat, whatever, but I was very emotional. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I was a little bitch today. I was a little emotional, little bitch. Most likely will be tomorrow too. Shit's going on in life that's not really putting a smile on my face, but hey, here we are trying to put a smile on my face and doing the job on hand, which is getting the work done, getting the goddamn work done. So Affirm, I'm interested to see how Affirm does on any sort of pullbacks. I think Affirm might be a little overextended. This again could be looked as day one. This could be looked as day two. So according to that playbook, you want to see this anchored VWAP holding or this anchored VWAP holding. If neither of these anchored VWAP holds on a pullback and you don't see a pattern like this showing up where we see clear support being built, then that kind of negates the whole idea for a bigger move up north on Affirm. Maybe Affirm has ran its course into insane levels that now it needs to die down. So we might see some resistances coming in on Affirm. So be careful. Just because we rallied 2 days doesn't mean we need to rally a third day just because the book says so, right? So yeah. That chat pattern made going long a trade with odds in your favor. Try it again tomorrow. Roku rocked it. Yeah, I'll try it again for sure. Again, that's a chart pattern where you go long because momentum is in the trader's favor. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was doing. But I was told that I was wrong. And, I'm a student of the game. I am not a master. Nowhere close to being a master. Very, very much a student of the game. Don't know how much longer I have time in this game, but it's very much a student of the game. And when I'm told I'm wrong, the only thing I can do is I can listen. Right? I can't do much other than that. Anyways, before I get emotional again and my bipolar tendencies kick in, let's continue with the job on hand. Zoom. I didn't even put notes down for the last few stocks. What the hell am I doing? Oh, not the last few. The last stock. Last stock. Affirm. Let's start with the 1 year chart. Hide everything, please. Let's start with the 1 year chart. So obviously 52-week high. Today's high was at $33. So let's put down 33 first. Right off the bat, 33, right? Let's put in 30 for support, which was kind of yesterday's high. Now, if we go into a smaller time frame, let's go to regular trading hours. What time frame are we on? We're on the 2-hour time frame now. This one doesn't really tell me anything. This one doesn't show me too much. Let's go to 3 month, which is a 1 hour time frame. Each candle is 60 minutes worth of information. So you can see right there that $30 area. I think that $30 area needs to hold up if we do get a pullback. Now let's go to, what are we on? We're 3 months? Yeah, we're on the 3 months. Let's go to the 1 month, which is 30 minutes. Each candle is 30 minutes worth of information. Still not really seeing anything in this area that I would be too interested in. So let's go to the 15 minute. That's the 5 minute. Let's go to the 15 minute. Over here, now you see the stock has shown you Is that today? Yeah, that's today. Yeah. So after we take out yesterday's high, we start building some new longs, and that pops right there from 31. That could be the infliction. 31 infliction, 33 resistance, 30 support. 5-minute chart, please. So right there. That's the infliction. That's the support. That's the resistance. Turn that biatch back on. Okay. Next stock. Zoom. Zoom. Did Zoom have a good day today? Let's quickly go check that out. Quickly turn on extended hours also for ourselves. Zoom did have a good day. 3% move. Looks like another good day for Zoom, especially not too long ago. Zoom had earnings report. Yeah, earnings report launched up but then flushed down. Traded a little bit around, up and down. Now finally back above the earnings anchored VWAP. So the question is this day one? No. This is day one. And this I wouldn't consider as a day one at all. However, Zoom did break out of a solid range that it was stuck in, that 6650 area, breaking out of 6650, now taking it to a little bit higher. You can kind of see that same level, I guess, somewhere around over here at 68. Let's quickly go to the 30-minute time frame instead, and you can see how that 6650 area comes from right there. The 66. Go back to regular trading, please. Regular trading. And where is that 6650? Where is that one? Yeah, right here. 6650. You can see how multiple days. That's today. We struggle right before 6650, and then we break out on the 21st of November. We struggle at 6650. On the 22nd of November, we open right near 6650, and then we start flushing to the downside for the rest of the day. So that area obviously struggled right off the open today. We pump into that area at 10 o'clock. We struggled, and then we broke out. So looking for levels like that. So looking for another possible level like that. We have something around the 68. You can see right there, that 68 area. We struggled right around 68 on the 10th of October. And then right over here, that 68 looks like a pretty good area. Maybe I'm just making shit up at this point, but 68 looks like a pretty good area to keep an eye out for. Go to the 60-minute time frame. Oops. Is that M60? Turn off everything. I mean, I'm interested to see what happens above 68 on Zoom. If we can get above 68, I think the stock easily has much more higher room to the north side. So I'm just gonna put 68 as for resistance, turn back all of our drawings and our indicators, and then kind of zoom in to see how the stock traded today. We found some support over here near $66 or so. We traded around, oh well, that was 66.50 obviously. So if we do pull back to 66.50, in my opinion, we need to find supports at 66.50 and not really get under 66.50 or 66 tomorrow. If for any reason we are under 66.50, we should not really get back under 66. So I'm just gonna put that whole range on watch for myself, and then resistance 68 for ZM. Next stock on board, Square, blockchain, Square. Let's see what kind of stock, what kind of trade Square put up today. Ooh, wow, big move on Square too. 5% move to the north side. Shout out to Square, ladies and gentlemen. But we will be right back with Square after this short message. Hey, you there. Yeah, you with the Manscaped shirt. Are you tired of decoding the stock market? Are you looking like this guy always lost after every single day? Well, look no further. Today we got a brand new offer for you from TraderSync. This software will help you identify exactly where you're losing, where you're winning, and how to maximize your profits. Use code PRAD15 at the checkout. If you start journaling your trades, you will start trading better, and you will start looking like this guy. So what are you waiting for? Go on out there, go get yourself a TraderSync discount, use code PRAD15, and they also have a Black Friday sale going on with 65% off. Don't be late. If the price action is strong, take a long position and set a mental stop just below support. I like it. I like it. Yes, sir. I like it. That's the plan. But I'm also told what to do and what not to do most of the time, so I have to listen. Square. Square. Ooh, what a breakout on Square on that 61 area. My God, beautiful breakout. Now I think this the support over here in the 61, 50, 62 needs to hold up. I mean, that looks like a pretty solid support area on this position right here in the 61, 62 area. I think a dip buy in the 62 on Square needs to hold up, honestly. So I'm just gonna look for a long into 62 tomorrow, and today's resistance, or tomorrow's resistance, in my opinion, will be today's high, right around $64. I'll be watching how $64 behaves. Anything above that is kind of clear skies, but we do have a lot of walls. Again, my bad, maybe I shouldn't say clear skies. We do have a little bit of a wall on this position right into 67.60, so it looks like the stock wants to go up there, go up to 67.50. So if we do break out of 64, I think we can easily go up to 67, $68 and then see a little bit of a wall coming in. So I'll be interested on that breakout of 64 long on Square. Next stock, Palantir. We're kind of speed running through this. These stocks are just kind of easy, or maybe we're just cheating our way out through this. I'm not sure if I'm cheating it or if I'm actually finding the right trades, but they look like good trades to me. Only God will know. Only time will tell if they are. And here is another stock that is setting up perfectly for a short attempt, in my opinion, because we've seen the stock struggle in these prices like time and time again. Every time we push into $20 area for Palantir, $20.20, that is, we see a lot of struggle for this position. So I'm interested to see how the stock behaves into this $20 price point. And 19 obviously continues to just, didn't mean to do that. 19 continues to hold on Palantir very, very strongly. We've tried to trade under 19, but we just can't. We just simply can't trade under 19 on Palantir at the moment. Very, very strong on this position. Let's see if we can finally get above 20 and actually stay above 20 on Palantir. Now, that's the big question on Palantir. For Coinbase, Mara, Riot, obviously you have to look at Bitcoin, but something with Mara and Riot, they're not really, I'm gonna eat my words. I was gonna say they're not really moving up like Coinbase is, because yesterday they didn't, but today they did. Up 8% for Riot, up 9% for, or almost 10% for Mara, up 11% for Coinbase, sorry, 7%, 11% for Coinbase. That's because we're seeing BTC, USD, and friends try to take out 38,000 and still hold up to the north side. This was all of today's move. You saw us take out above 38K, and one more time into the sorry, that's not today. That's 24th of November. This is today. We got above 28K today, rejected right at that same price point, and then got stuffed right back to the downside. So let me just quickly throw in a line over here too. On Bitcoin, you can see how we basically got right in that price point and got stuffed right back down. If we go to the bigger time frame chart over here, this is what's happening with Bitcoin USD. We were expecting a horizontal support and a horizontal resistance to show up, but looks like that horizontal support and horizontal resistance is getting ready to create another minor channel in itself by creating a higher support area than the lower support that we were expecting, not actually even pulling back to the anchored VWAP from where the big move started. We're finding buyers step up higher and higher and higher, and sellers also move their orders higher. Previous seller was probably here, now they're here. Or new sellers are now selling at a higher price point instead of the same price point because they're seeing buyers step up every single time. That big candle wick over there, that shows you that the stock or the instrument on hand flush down, but then pop right back into the north side. And that's the action that you're seeing on the buy side. But the same thing's happening to the sell side over here. Anytime we pump up, we're getting stuff right back down. So big war happening. We got battle of the coiners taking place on this I don't know what battlefield to call it, but on the cryptocurrency battlefield, waiting to see who comes out victorious. Do we finally take out that 39,000 barrier on cryptocurrencies, on Bitcoin, get to that 40,000 area, taking Coinbase and all the other basket along with it, GBTC, that's on the OTC markets, that's Bitcoin Grayscale ETF Trust. We also have the BTCC ETF, which is a Bitcoin ETF for those of you who want to trade these instead of Coinbase or Mara or whatever. These move a little bit more similar and in lock and step to Bitcoin instead of Coinbase. Coinbase has a little bit of its own catalyst on it sometimes. Sometimes the SEC wants to sue the crap out of them, so that can make the stock move differently than what Bitcoin's doing. And obviously Coinbase is its own company. It's providing its own services, so whatever money they bring in also matters to their valuation and so on. So it doesn't really matter too much on Bitcoin, but it does move based on Bitcoin. So it's always a good point to have Bitcoin on watch. Companies like Mara, Riot, HUD 8, BTCC, the ETF, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, all of these ones move a little bit more in lock and step with Bitcoin because they actually own Bitcoin on their portfolio, and the movements of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies directly affect their valuation. So that's why when you're trading Coinbase, it's good to watch it, but it's not 100% exactly how it shows up. And for example, I can put in the BTC USD chart right on top of Coinbase chart, and you can see how Bitcoin kind of flatlined. Coinbase popped up, Bitcoin popped up, Coinbase popped up too. But sometimes you'll see when Coinbase popped up, Bitcoin popped up, Coinbase actually went to the downside or flatlined, or vice versa. So sometimes Coinbase has its own catalyst, so you don't want to be trading exactly off of Bitcoin move. Now, coming back to Coinbase specifically, what kind of levels would we be interested in? Looks like any sort of dips, to be specific, right? Any sort of dips is something that we would love to be interested in. That 112 to 115 area. Are we gonna get bought up on any sort of dips into that price point? Currently, Coinbase clearly does not look like it wants to go down there. We might just see Coinbase getting ready to go back into this 150, 160 areas very, very soon, probably by the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But we need to see Bitcoin joining the party with that, to be honest. So let's see how Coinbase behaves into this 133 area. That happens to be this previous high before we started plummeting to the downside on that earnings report. Also, that was in the May of 2022. So yeah, we haven't tested that price in a long time. So waiting to see how the stock behaves at 133. Any dips into what is this? I guess 112 to 114. And then we got 133 to the upside. Mara, Riot, all of these ones have a pretty easy levels to keep an eye out for. I think Mara is right here at that $13 area. Breakout at 13. I think we could get some nice fun action to the north side on Mara. We're currently right at 1250. Even if we start showing Mara some action for a little bit of buying into 1180 or buying into 12, you can kind of buy those dips for a move into today's high, a breakout into today's high, where you can add into that position for a bigger move into the north side. So looking for a nice little dip buy into 1180 to $12. For resistance, we're looking to see how 1250 behaves and then how 13 behaves on this position for Mara. For Riot, For Riot, it's kind of the same thing, but just a little bit lower prices. We got this insane wall at $13. You can see how the stock has struggled at 13. So if we can get above 13, we got a little bit of room to 1450. And then for supports, we need to see the stock basically holding 1150. I mean, 12 should be holding. It should not even be going down to 1150 in my opinion. 1250. 12 should be holding. It should not go down to 11 in my opinion. The next stock on board, ladies and gentlemen, is Micron. Micron had a little bit of a move today, apparently. My manager traded it. He was talking about how it was in play or some sort of a catalyst that Micron had. Not sure what the catalyst was. I think it had a downgrade or something. Look at that big move in the after hours. Or they downgraded their guidance. I mean, this move looks like a nothing burger. What? Well, I don't know. I guess he bought the dip over here at 74. I'm not sure what my manager did, but yeah, he had the stock. Oh, I don't want to do that. 73.50. Interested to see what the stock does into that dips at 73.50, and to see what happens into the rips into 76, because that looks like a wall on this position right into $76. You can see how we had support, and now I'm expecting a wall into that price point. 76 to 76.50. ARM, we had a beautiful long on it. Whoever called out ARM last night on the chat, you deserve an MVP award, honestly, because I forgot about this stock. I forgot it even existed. But here's this position giving you a monster long today. Where did I get long on ARM? I got long right here at the hold of VWAP. So I got long, I got out right into the high of days, then I got more long, and then I got out right before this whole big move happened into the north side. So I missed the big move, but I'm very happy with how the stock traded. Held VWAP cleanly, so that 6150 area. Pretty interested to see how the stock trades into the 6150 area, expecting buyers to show up again and hold the stock up. Also very happy seeing the stock push back up into $60 areas and not really be stuck into this $50, $48 price points. So pretty excited to see ARM pump back up. Not sure why I'm excited. I don't really have it in my own portfolio. I guess I'm excited because my friends and family members own this position. So overall, ARM over here, nice move back up. Looking for that supports into that $60, $61.50 area, and then looking to see how the stock behaves on the way up. Obviously, needs some patterns to trade off of and needs some volume and catalyst. At the moment, don't really know what the catalyst is. Don't really have a news. And AMD belongs in that same basket of stocks for me. The next few list of stocks, actually all of them over here, are kind of in the no touch basket, honestly, because if you were to see what's going on this action, it's nothing, right? Are you really trading this on Apple? Amazon giving you a little bit of more volatility to trade off of and a little bit more ranges, but still nothing too exciting. Microsoft was the exciting one. Microsoft 380, like I said, they are some interesting levels for some of these large caps. Microsoft 380, Amazon 150, Tesla, Nvidia always gives you $5-10 ranges to trade off of, so you can trade those. Google kind of not really doing too much exciting work. I guess Google did give you some longs to trade off of. Some nice longs over there, Google, nice. But in my opinion, honestly, there are better stocks to be trading at the moment instead of the large cap basket. Most of the stocks that actually have earnings, like CrowdStrike, Workday, Foot Locker, Dollar Tree, will be most likely my go-to basket of stocks to keep an eye out for. I'll have an eye out on Nvidia, on Tesla, on Meta and Microsoft. Apple, Amazon, Apple not as much. Amazon also, I'll have my eyes on it, but AMD not as much. Last but not least of this watch list that we have over here is Wayfair. Wayfair day one move was monstrous. We got a pretty good move yesterday on Wayfair. We got the joining of that party. So we broke out of that $50 area on Wayfair. We missed that breakout. Now we joined the party today for a bigger move up north on Wayfair. I actually tried to go long over here, missed my entry. Then I had some orders over here, missed my entry. Then I chased my entry on the break of 54. So I caught the long later on, but I got stopped out before I actually caught the bigger move. So whatever, who cares? But I was right on the idea. That's all I care about, right? Right on the idea. We were right on the call out. The stock held yesterday's VWAP, got above today's VWAP. Picture perfect. Exactly how the book describes what a day two trade should look like on Wayfair. Wayfair first gaps down from yesterday's close, goes into yesterday's VWAP, holds yesterday's VWAP, reclaim today's VWAP, holds today's VWAP, and then goes higher. This is exactly what Gap did. This is exactly what Gap did on day two. So there you go. Day one, move off earnings. Gap popped up. Day two, stock comes down, holds yesterday's anchored VWAP, gets above today's VWAP, and then launches higher. Day three, holds day one anchored VWAP, gets above day two anchored VWAP, holds day two anchored VWAP, and then goes higher. It reclaims day three anchored VWAP, which is this day's anchored VWAP. So you kind of want to see this setup playing out again. You need to see Wayfair being able to hold this anchored VWAP. This anchored VWAP could even be all the way up here. So a nice little pullback into 54.70 or 55 area holding, this being right over here, and that giving you a bigger move up north. So I'm very, very excited to see how Wayfair helps me look for that move. You can see how day two on GPS played out. You could have gone long over here with the stop there, added with the stop there, added with the stop there, and ended pretty high on the day. On the next day, you could have pretty much done the same thing. Once it reclaims day one VWAP, you get long over here with the stop right down there. You get long right over here above yesterday's the stop right down over here, and you enjoy the moves to the north side on these stocks. So I'm very, very excited for Wayfair. Almost caught the move today. Didn't catch it really, but almost caught it. And I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow if there's a bigger move over here. Wayfair obviously looks like it's got quite a bit of a wiggle room to the north side. Who wants to reclaim some of these moves? Wayfair, always on the board. Micron issue a low guidance press statement. Yes, that's what it was. Good call. Do not buy Micron just yet. That's a pennant flag formation. Not sure what a pennant flag is. I'll be honest with you. I'll have to look that one up. I'm pretty bad with chart patterns. You guys have heard me talk too much shit about chart patterns. I need to learn more about them, honestly. That's why I talk shit about them. I need to just learn more about them. Wayfair having a huge sale at their website. Is that why these guys are popping up? I thought, yeah, their earnings didn't really do too much of a help for them, but I guess Cyber Monday is helping them out, huh? Cyber Monday spending hits record. Buy now, pay later is booming. And that's why Affirm is doing what Affirm is doing. Right? And that's why we're taking a look at Affirm also. Hi, Prad. Please look at Net. Thank you so much. Just for you, Sky. Just for you. So NetApp. Oh, no. This is Cloudflare. I thought this was NetApp, which also had earnings today after hours. No, this is Cloudflare. Had earnings not too long ago. My voice just cracked over there. What the hell's wrong with me? I like it. I like this. Yeah, I like it. Looks good. I think obviously this is a little bit of a sympathy trade with a bunch of other cloud-based technology companies like Zscaler, CrowdStrike, and so on. CrowdStrike, which actually pushed to the downside on the earnings report, which was positive and strong guidance also. I think we'll see, what's the stock again? NetApp, or sorry, not NetApp, Cloudflare, probably getting some sort of a sympathy off of this trade to the north side. and being able to take out the 76 area, I actually like this quite a bit. I'm gonna have to put it in my watch list, because if it does take out that 76, then we could possibly see some interesting moves up north. So I'll just put in an alert. If it does go back into the north side of those prices, and I want to put it somewhere right below here. So yeah, if we can get above 76 on this position, I think that opens up some room to the north side. And if we do pull back into 73, 72.50, I think some possible supports could be tested on that position, 72.50/73 on Cloudflare, NetApp Cloudflare. Wayfair don't really have any levels that I'm interested. I'm going to be playing that off of a derivative level. Amazon, Apple, Meta, you guys heard me talk about this. All of these levels, you guys all have levels for these, and some of you guys have different playbooks that you guys like to use. So I'll not bother you with my biases, and my bias is obviously no reason to be really trading Apple, Meta, or Google at the moment, or even Meta. Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Tesla are a little bit more interesting at the current moment to be day trading them, so you could look for some opportunities on those. The number one opportunity and two opportunity, I think, in my opinion, will be within the top list of stocks, somewhere probably in CrowdStrike, Workday, Roku, Shopify, Affirm, Zoom, Square, Dollar Tree, and Foot Locker. One of these stocks will be the number one stock on the day. I promise you that. So maybe just focus on these stocks for yourselves, and look for all the right opportunities, right patterns, the right reasons to enter a trade and hold the trade, right? Always be asking questions. Is this a short? Why is this a short? Why should I be holding this trade? What do I need to see the stock do for me to hold? Do I need to see higher highs and higher lows for me to hold my long? Am I short? Do I need to see lower lows and lower highs coming in for me to hold? If it's not showing that, and if it's showing me reversal patterns, then I need to pay attention to that. So always keep asking questions to yourself, to the chart, to the market, and then don't try to create like a confirmation bias, right? Don't only try to find biases that you need to see for you to get into the trade. Actually understand what's going on and look for all the right information and listen to the market. Ask it questions and listen to it, and it will tell you exactly what's going on, right? So always make sure that you have some sort of a checklist. Have a checklist for everything, for an entry, for an exit, even for thinking about a trade. Have a checklist, right? Checklist always. Check. Tomorrow's economic calendar. We got GDP numbers coming out at 8:30. 3-star event, obviously. We got oil numbers coming out at 10:30 Wednesday. Oil numbers. Ooh, tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow's probably garbage day too. Then is it garbage day or is it recycle day? Let me use my stream time to take a look at this. Yes, Prad. Yes, very, very smart. It's garbage day tomorrow. Yuck. I hate doing garbage, but it's garbage day tomorrow. We'll do garbage over there. Crude oil inventory is coming out tomorrow. FOMC member Mester coming out at 1:45. Beige book at 2 o'clock. And that basically wraps up the end of the economic calendar. Not too hot. We had a pretty hot economic calendar today. We had a lot of Fed members coming up. We had the consumer confidence coming out. The consumer confidence helped out the market. Let's see if the GDP number tomorrow helps out the market at 8:30, helping it punch a nice little green move and helping a bunch of other big tech stocks like Apple, Microsoft get back above 380, Apple go above 190. Maybe we see Amazon close to 150. So a bunch of these fun moves, and a bunch of other stocks that have already been making a move to the north side, maybe they get a day 3, day 4 pump up to the north side, allowing us to look for those fun longs to be in. So ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the show for today. Thank you everybody for coming out, for hanging out for the last hour and a half or so, looking at the levels, looking at all the stocks that I'm interested in. Hopefully you were able to find some trades for yourselves in there. Obviously tomorrow we will be right back, so don't worry if you missed today's stream. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock, same time, same place. I am, however, thinking about maybe moving the stream time a little bit earlier. I haven't confirmed that yet, right? I haven't confirmed that yet. It depends on a couple other things. It's because I'm able to now go to the gym earlier in the morning. That allows me to get home a little bit quicker. So maybe I'll be able to stream a little bit quicker. Uh, we'll finalize those decisions once I get into this routine, a proper routine of a fixed time that I know I'll be home by, and then we can go off of that schedule, or maybe we'll just keep it at 8 o'clock and just have the people who join us, and the people who don't, they don't. All right, we'll figure that part out. We'll figure that part out. But hopefully you guys keep coming by until then. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. All my links are 8 is late. I can't help it, mate. 8 is the time I can currently host. But if I can get home a little bit quicker, maybe I can do a little bit earlier. We'll figure that part out. Yeah, all my links right down below, all my affiliate sponsors and my social media. If you haven't checked them out yet, please go check them out. Please do hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It helps me on the YouTube algorithm. I'm so close to being to monetize my stream a little bit by getting super chats and so on. So please do hit those likes, do hit those subscribes. I need all that the numbers to go up. Would mean the world to me if you do that. And tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, good luck on the markets. Have a great night. Ciao.